Northland, daar de blaken staan is weer de heerleth, with dat kalden saas, on daar diorkan nicht is jos with the langis. The Northman sitteth neer miklum biermes buurnum, and hier spelretjeth. He retches that some earthling lang ship workte, and he hit sailed beyond in them blaken isse, and there he whirled the edge, that he his boerde ham brochte to them lande, there sie sunni to midre nichte schins. Noggin the Nog had his earthling, young and strong, mid earlum than Northmanum, and he was Noggis the Kuninges, see a wailed this is landis diorka holta and snawis, Bjorga landis and Dana. On diopra neorora heri Bjorga, there the sa hlimmeth between and black and stanum, and see wind crimthon there it child and nichte. There was little husewick, ye gathered be them heri Bjorgam, there se se was lithe, and buffen hit was little castle, Cnut his Koninges castle. Elk morgen, zoals hij sunna rissende was, Cnut Koning duwde his berg on his hereford, and eerde to his morgen his fede. He eerde op them bront and pathe onemne his kastele, to them stane buffen them tune, se stan had Cnut his stol. Daar he sat, and swasiusun rissende behinden them Bjorgam, to je meltene daar blaken nichte was. Daar he began to jemmene. He showered the Heriborg beneden on the little house, and he jemmede his volkes, and what he mag eten, and whether here rof as lecky waren, and whether he werme sokkes have done, on this child and wedere. He showered on the castle beneden, and he hogede unblede offer his quene Grunhilde, and wham worde he hluven after that he a quallen was, for then he was with the old Koning, and nast na hal. Then he hogede unblede offer his son Noggin, for then se je wunne on them Northlandem was daar se Koning bewedderd bear, and if 6 weken after his father's death Noggin nafte kuren meiden to his wife. Dan he ne mache Koning bean, and se bear word again to his earliesome father Nogbad letherlich. Dan is se Koning sjouwde ut offer dan I tun, and daar heri Bjorge, and seach beyond and the diorka store Nogbadis castles. Standing they offer them woode, and he jemede Nogbadis, and what alim pit to his leofum folk, if Nogbad were the Koning Nogis. And that folk that tune is sjouwene up them stane, and hier sauen hier a Koning sittende, daar jemmende, and hier quadon, nee jemmeth held Koning, it will be on herricht. Adj, en git fulliche, så Koning wonede te jemmene elsewhere.